What's up, everybody? This is Marrtyr from Spike Flail, and we have Rotface hard mode today. So, what's different about hard mode? First things first is he's going to cast Vile Gas on your ranged. This means the ranged has to spread out. In normal mode, everyone collapsed in. It was very easy. So, ranged has to stay spread out, and there's obviously, more damage that's going to go on. So, let's go ahead and get right into it. You'll see on this video, I try to get more to the side, kind of away from the raid, go ahead and get spread out, do as much of my movement before the pull as I can, because you'll see everyone's kind of clumped up still on that side. So you get in right into your rotation. Bloodlust is usually going to be right off the bat, because as the encounter goes on, mutated infections will get faster and faster, so you're bloodlusting right off the bat. You're going to have the most time with everyone. That you should not do. For me, it doesn't really matter, but for your healers, it's going to matter. If you mirror image when you get mutated infection, your slime's going to go attack someone else, and that's something you want to avoid. So, anyways, we didn't bloodlust right off the bat here. There was a little talk on Vent about what happened, but they do it later on. It doesn't really matter. For us at this point, it's going to matter for you if you're just getting into this encounter, but for us at this point, it didn't really matter. The slime on the outside, you'll notice it's 4 locations. It's going to come, once it drops on one, it's going to go to the other 3 before it goes back to that one. So as an example, where the slime is right now, when the next slime comes out, that's going to be a safe spot to go to. You want to avoid being in the slime because it does a lot of damage and it slows you and you can get stuck in it. So you want to be, right around the edge. Right here is good. So this is pretty much just another stand nuke fight. There's a few subtle nuances, a little bit more movement than you're going to have to deal with in Fester Gut, which, I also go over. Right here, this is something you can do. Make sure blink is up, but as soon as it drops, you can blink right over. You don't take any damage, and it works out pretty good. You'll see a slime spray come out. Don't stand in a slime spray. Obviously, that's very bad. You'll also see here, something was about to explode. When those things explode, you want to collapse to the center as much as you can, and then you'll get a message saying, I think I made an angry poo-poo, it's gonna blow. When Rotface says that, that means one of the goos is about to explode. You need to collapse in as quickly as possible. Then once it explodes, everyone moves back out and spreads back out. But that'll just give your people the most space to be able to move and actually get out of the way. It makes it much easier. You'll see our off tank is just kiting the slimes in a circle around the room. There's not a little lot to that. It's not something you need to worry about. Here, Lust gets called, so unfortunately I didn't have any cooldowns up for it, but hey, that happens. So you're going to want to, again, unfortunately I didn't have blink up, but you can see how you get slowed in there. Or rather, I just didn't blink, I had it up, but I think I just used palm instead. So you can see very simply what you need to do. Try to stay clear of everyone else. It's going to happen. You're going to get close to people. You can see our tank there with a square mark on them. You're going to want to try to stay away from those goos as much as possible. You're going to see it turns that bright red color. If it absorbs one more, it's probably going to explode, and at that point you're going to want to collapse back inside. So there it is. You see he says the comment again. Everyone collapses inside. Explosion. Get outside as quickly as possible. At that point it explodes. All the goo falls to the inside, and everyone on the outside safe. So that's pretty much it for Rotface hard mode. That's all you really need to know. It's another one of these stand and nuke fights. It's not that difficult. It's not that complex. It's a fairly simple encounter that can be made overly complicated depending on your raid. The hardest thing to do is actually going to be the achievement, which we did quite a while ago before the hard modes came out. But I think doing the achievement was actually harder initially than doing this encounter. I think we 1 or 2 shot it the first night this encounter was out, because it's really just not that. There's not a whole lot different from regular. I mean, Vile Gas isn't that big of a deal. You still gotta move. You actually let things explode, and it's just not hugely different than regular mode, other than bigger numbers and everything else. And as long as your raid's equipped and ready to go, you'll be fine. So that's pretty much it for Rotface hard mode. Again, I appreciate you watching the video, and be sure to check out some more in the future up at stratfoo.com. Thanks again.